Presented a brief on the 2022 third quarter gross domestic product and other related performance indicators on the Nigerian economy. You recall the NBA's earlier released these numbers. The third quarter 2022 GDP revealed a positive performance of 2.25%, though lower when compared to the 4.03% in quarter 3 of 2021. This has been attributable to the base effect of the performance in 2020 during COVID. Specifically, on the broad sectorial performance, agriculture grew by 1.34% during the third quarter of 2022 in real terms. This is higher than the third quarter of 2021, which recorded 1.22%. Agriculture, industry, and services contributed 29.67%, 18.37%, and 51.96% respectively to the third quarter GDP. This is in contrast, agriculture, industry, and services contributed 29.94%, 20.41%, and 49.65% respectively in the third quarter of 2021. This clearly shows a higher contribution of services in quarter 3 of 2021 compared to quarter 3 of 2022 compared to quarter 3 of 2021. But oil growth rate recorded minus 22.67% in real terms in the third quarter of 2022 compared to the minus 10.73% in the third quarter of 2021. And during this period, oil's contribution generally to GDP was 5.66%, which is a decline from the 7.49% contributed in quarter 3 of 2021. This poor performance was occasioned by a lower volume of production in the quarter under review compared to the corresponding quarter of 2021, the previous quarters. So non-oil sectors accounting for 94.34%, which is an increase from the 92.51% recorded in quarter 3 of 2021. The headline inflation rate maintained an upward trend in 2020, but slowed in April 2021, like we know, when 18.12% was recorded on a year-on-year basis. So the headline inflation currently stood at 21.09% in October 2022 year-on-year from 20.77% recorded in September. But on a month-on-month basis, headline inflation stood at 1.24% in October, lower compared to 1.36% in September, meaning that inflation declined marginally on a month-on-month basis. The rise in inflation is mainly due to high cost of production, imports, and food. But when we look at the core inflation is the one which excludes the prices of volatile agricultural produce. It stood at 17.76% in October, higher than the 17.6% recorded in September. But on a month-on-month basis, the core sub-index was 0.93% in October 2022, and a decline to 1.59% in September 2022. This means that core inflation decreased in October on a month-on-month basis. But the highest increases were recorded in prices of gas, liquid fuel, passenger transport by air, solid fuel, and vehicle spare parts. On the other hand, the food inflation rate rose to 23.72% in October 2022 compared to 23.34% in September. However, on a month-on-month basis, it stood at 1.23% in October from 1.43% in September, showing a fall. This decline was attributed to a reduction in prices of some food items like tubers, palm oil, maize, beans, and vegetables. Thank you.
On behalf of